Right. Well, hi, everybody. This is Sonia Miller, founder of SuccessForTheSoul.com and author of The Attraction Distraction, Why the Law of Attraction Isn't Working for You and How to Get Results Finally. And I'd love to welcome each and every one of you, whether you're joining us here live, whether you'll be listening in on the MP3. Welcome to what I think is going to be a pretty powerful teleclass. This is part one of Escape from the Doom and Gloom Trap, how to see world events as the illusion they are, soothe your soul when you're afraid, and reclaim the power you've always had. This is part of our free summer teleseries, which is focusing on manifestation, the advanced principles and subtle nuances that make all the difference in your ability to be the ultimate manifester of your life. So I'd like to welcome all of you, and okay, well, let's see where to begin. This teleclass was not originally on the calendar, and originally I was going to do another focus, and I've been really hearing from people and having conversations and emails coming my way where the news of world events, current events, job markets, global markets, economy is really, really taking its toll on people's feeling of power in their own lives, of hope, of inspiration. We feel people are feeling very bogged down and limited and restricted with that. And I know that I've been on my own journey with the conditions of my life and the things that I think affect my reality. And it just became really, really clear with all of the expansion that I've personally been experiencing and the deepening that's been occurring for me in my understanding as a traveler around universal principles and manifestation, what I've been experiencing with fellow seekers, with clients, with students. It just became really, really obvious. This inspiration came. It's like it's time to offer a class like this. So I'm thrilled to see everybody on the call today and all of the registrations coming in. There's lots of people listening in. So it's a pleasure. And I welcome each of you to just really open up to this experience and let it reach you beyond the intellectual level, because this is where we really tap into our power as the manifestors of our lives. And know that this is recorded, so you don't have to take copious notes. And I'm doing the format for this particular call a little bit different than I usually do. I usually like to weave in on these two-part calls, some keys, some tools that you can take away with you right away. And what I decided to do with this one is really just deliver content, as much content as possible, and then move into the applicable tools in part two, because there's so much that I just really want to offer that I hope wherever you're at on your journey, it will really be a catalyst for some powerful movement. I always like to say, if you're ready for something beyond just an insight and you really want to have a breakthrough, the first part is awareness always. So this call is really about deepening your awareness, really reaching to places in your soul and your consciousness that maybe have not been touched before, and not defaulting to the place that most of us want to go to. We want to understand it all intellectually. We figure if we understand it, then we can get control over things. And the kind of expansion that happens for seekers around the principles we're going to talk about, where they can really liberate themselves from the conditions of our lives that we really believe. We're brainwashed. We're taught. We're conditioned to believe in the power of external circumstances. The kinds of shifts that have to happen for you to tap into that kind of power is beyond intellectual. So I invite you to take this experience of listening in on this call, of engaging with the information as an opportunity to be touched at a deeper level than maybe you might if you were just reading a book or participating in a class that's more of an intellectual experience with note-taking. Feel free to not take notes and just to kind of let it sink in and then go back and listen and try to integrate it in different ways at different times. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to really start off a little bit with, I think a good place to start is let's talk about what the difference is between the law of attraction and manifestation. And the law of attraction basically teaches that what you put out into the universe, you attract into your physical experience. So what you put out is through thoughts, through words, through actions. But really what's happening is, and emotions, really what's happening is we're looking at the energy that you're putting out. So I'm very driven always. Whenever we're looking at tools and techniques, I'm always looking at what's the energy beneath that. I think the distortion, the thing that trips people up is when you hear the word law of attraction and you think of it that way, you're really kind of perpetuating this idea that manifestation is about attracting something that doesn't exist or manifesting something that doesn't exist or even creating something that doesn't exist, as if you're here and that thing is over there and you're separate. The energy behind all of that, which causes problems, is the energy of separation. I am separate from that thing I want. So even if you are looking at it from a law of attraction point of view, you are putting out the energy of, I am separate, therefore you're attracting separation. It's basically a separation consciousness. So what we always want to do is be shifting away from separation to the consciousness of oneness. How is it that I already am what I want, have what I want, am one with what I want? And that's really what manifestation is about. It's about shifting into the awareness that everything that you could ever want to be, have, or do is already here. It's in you. It's as you. It's through you. It's throughout all of life. It's all there is. Life itself, everything that you could ever want already exists, is whole, perfect, complete, and it is in the form of energy. So when something manifests, it's not that you're attracting or creating something that you're separate from that doesn't exist. You are allowing yourself to see what is already here. And that's where my little catchphrase, choose your reality, comes from. You are choosing to see what is already here by simply placing your attention on it. So a lot of the manifestation process is about cultivating that vision. And we're going to talk a lot more about that. Cause and effect. So you're going to connect with the truth about cause and effect, because this is a very common distortion, and it really, we think we're activating cause to produce an effect in our lives because we've had some success with that, but I'll tell you later on that's an illusion. That success is an illusion if you're confused or distorted about true cause and effect. So we're going to talk about cause and effect. You're going to understand why there is suffering and challenge in the world and exactly how this serves you in accessing your infinite power. You're going to uncover and correct myths and distortions, which we've already begun to do, about the law of attraction, so as to move into a more consistent experience of fulfilling manifestation. I really want to share with you more about reality versus seeing what we call reality as the illusion it really is, and how to begin living in the power and freedom of higher truth. I'm very excited to share with you the real reason for having goals, because this is a very common distortion. And when you really make the shift around the real reason for goals, they take on a whole new power and meaning in your life. I have some success stories from seekers just like you that you're going to be hearing about today and Thursday in part 2. And by the end of this 2-part teleclass, you're going to have some very specific tools that you can start applying in your life right away. So this is something that we're going to cover over the course of both today's class and Thursday's class. And so my intention is that you walk away really getting that you can manifest your dreams, that the conditions of your life do not need to control you, that they really, when you understand how this is true, have zero power over you, actually. They only have as much power as you give them, that there are concrete tools that you can learn and use to produce real-life results, and that when things aren't working, it's not because these principles are flawed or hooey or just a bunch of, malarkey. These principles are truth. They're based in higher truth, and if you're not seeing the results you want, it's not because the concept is flawed, but because you need another level of understanding.